All right. Suck a little bit of water out my water cup. Now, we're about to have a bit of a conversation about AI. And the first thing I want to say before we start this conversation is what I'm going to talk about is largely my opinion. And if any organization I work with in a future or past doesn't agree with it, that's cool. You're an organization that's allowed to have your own organizational views and opinions and whatnot. And I have mine opinions on my views that are mine. God damn it, I don't want to go. On my views and opinions that are mine. Now, when it comes to AI, I am not one of those people that are, because it could affect the industry, because AI affects music, it affects art, it affects content creation, 3 things that I am, and affects gaming, 4 things that I am into, that I'm very closely, 4 industries that I'm very close and intimate with that could affect me. So, excuse me, all of this could affect me and the things that I love equally, because all the things I love and even things that are connected to things I don't necessarily love but need are connected to this topic. And that's AI, automation, and AI being a part of the process. Now, when it comes to the whole thing about people saying all AI does is produce slop, I'll put it like this. There are painters who, and like I remember this being a stereotype about people who painted for a while. There are people who are painters who make paintings where it's like, yo, what the fuck is this? That sell for millions. Like even 10 years ago, that was a thing where people used to generalize and stereotype painters as people who put a line on a canvas and sell the shit for $1 million. Bless me in the comments, pussy. Until I grew up and found out that was not all artists. Same thing with AI. It's like, yeah, right now AI is making slop, but the way that technology works, this is the worst that all this AI art ever will be. Number 1. And number 2, I feel like a lot of people who are in those industries that will be deeply and intimately affected by AI don't truly realize how much the average person doesn't give a fuck. Now, the people who are chronically online, which if you're watching this video, you may not realize it, but you are a chronically online person 9 times out of 10. It's like a one, and not even 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100. If you're watching this video, you're probably a chronically online person. You ever left a comment on a social media video that wasn't just a bunch of laughing emojis? You're chronically online. Hey, you may not realize it, but once you see how other people rarely engage with stuff like hitting like and leaving comments, you realize you are chronically online. Especially with my no view getting ass. If you're watching a YouTuber that has less than 100,000 views on a video, that means YouTube has ran out of high view videos to recommend you, and they start recommending you no view shit. You are chronically online. It's okay now that you're coming to this realization, but the bigger point is, when you're chronically online, you can realize when something is or isn't AI. The average person can't, and it's even getting to the point where sometimes I'm having a hard time distinguishing whether things are AI or not AI. Now, I say that to say I didn't have a hard time distinguishing which parts of this trailer were and were not AI. So I'm gonna go over this trailer and we're gonna go through it together. And this is what people think AI games are going to look like. But I'm gonna tell you right now, again, I am not by any means fighting for AI video games, but again, I need y'all to keep in mind, the fact of the matter is, what the bullshit you're about to see is the worst it will ever be. It's only going to go up from here. Now, how fast it goes up, I don't know. But up is a direction you can constantly keep going. Keep that in mind. Let's go further. Because this trailer, when I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, this shit was, I'm gonna call him. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched this trailer, this shit was genuinely so ass I couldn't help but laugh. And it just keeps getting worse. Though this trailer just keeps getting worse the longer you go. First off, he shot the gun off. And first off, he just shot the gun in the back of his friend's head. And his friend, his army mate or whatever, is just sitting there unfazed. Number one. Number two, guns don't spark like this unless you're pointing it this far away from a wall and you're just shooting it at the wall. This nigga shot the gun in the air and hit nothing. Why is it sparking like that? You know how in acting there's sometimes actors that show us emotion way stronger than they should. So instead of doing a subtle little crying like they go, ah! That's the AI's version of overacting. A fucking grenade just appeared in the air out of thin air. Fucking the minimap that was over here just a second ago, there was a minimap over here. That shit just disappeared. Random grenade. Subtone? That's either subtone or sublone. What? Uptune. Where? No, uptune. Where? This is the part that made me say you don't have to be good at detecting when something is AI to see that is bullshit. The fucking plot. Where did this come from? This shit just phased through the train like Danny Phantom. Now this is the part that really fucked me up. The train just slides from on the track like Tom Cruise. You walk through the shit. Now you're inside a train, right? Right? The train turns into you're on the platform. Now you're walking through the train. Like, bro, this is what it must feel like to have sleep paralysis. Also, what? What the fuck? The minimap teleported from down here to up here, and it has north on it twice. So they got north, and then they got north. What the fuck? He shot forward and the glass beside him broke? Bro, this gotta be what it feel like to have dementia. He shot over here and the glass broke over there. This isn't even a fucking word. The drone just appeared out of thin fucking air. Oh, God. Lafayette? That's not how you spell Lafayette. Where did the other drone go? Where did that nigga come from? He got shot in his whole ass leg and he just walked it off. What the fuck are these? Sappy. We got the good today. We got the and we got the it. Like it is. This is what it feels. This is what it feels like to hear somebody speak in a different language. Why did he shoot the AC? The fuck was the AC doing to you? The person on the other roof over there that you just shot at, that apparently is the fucking Terminator, because this nigga can take bullets to the leg and not react, still has a clear line of sight of you. This is clear. He can still see you. All you did was this. He can shoot you. Nigga, run. This nigga, I guess this nigga's blind, bro. And if that's supposed to be their friend or something like that, like let's say that's supposed to be your squad mate, then why did you even shoot at him in the first place? Also, now we got north, then we got, I don't even know what that's supposed to be. That just looks like a random part of the alphabet. These niggas made a new letter. We don't got W, we got VW. What the fuck? Where did that cut? Yo, I'm not bugging the fuck out. There's no trash can here. But he goes up, jumps down. All of a sudden, there's a trash can here. So what the fuck? Did Batman just throw this trash can at somebody and put it back in place like in that Injustice whatever? What? Bro, this gotta be what it feel like to have dementia. Also, why did the character switch sides of the screen? We went from a first-person shooter to a third-person shooter. Yo, bro, this shit is breaking my brain. Where did this game come from? Bro, this gotta be what it feel like to have schizophrenia and not take your medicine, bro. Because what the fuck? Like, I swear to God, you ever had one of those days where you didn't get enough sleep the night before and you wake up and like you look at your doorway and you swear to God your door is supposed to be here, but it's over here. Then you realize you spent the night at a random one-night stands crib. That's what this game feels like. You don't know where anything is at, even if you look at it. Why did locks don't spark when you cut them? And why is the van now behind a gate? Why does everything create sparks? What? The car just rotated on its own. Bro, yo. Why is he shooting the car? What? What? This nigga shot the car and a fire escape turned into lava? What the fuck? This nigga just teleported underground. No climbing animation or anything. What the fuck? You just gonna ignore all those people in there? It's a room full of people right there. You're just gonna ignore them. You don't see that? You don't see that? You didn't see none of them niggas right there? Why is it a bunch of people locked up in a cell in a fucking subway? Huh? That was not there before. That would, we watched the hallway. Bro, wait, hold up. Cause like, I want you to watch this right here. Watch the hallway change. And then look, on the stream preview, you could re-watch the hallway change. Bro, this game is dead ass breaking my brain. Bro, I swear to God, this game is what it feels like to have dementia. Like, this game, watching gameplay of this game is gonna make you feel like you're off your fucking rocker.
They've got a chopper on us. Find some cover now.
Shoot the searchlight that's behind you. Dive into the side Chanel. Sprint for debris cover. I'm not gonna lie. Let me mute it. I'm not gonna lie. Wait. Got to play music. I'm not gonna lie, if AI games in the future are about to look like this, you can keep that shit, bro. And especially with Elon Musk saying that AI game making is the future to let AI generate games, bro, you can keep this shit because this whole trailer, as you can see, it feels like I'm just having a psychic attack. You know when Psyduck does the psychic attack to you in Pokemon? It feels like I just got hit with that because everything in this trailer doesn't make any fucking sense. Glyphs is just changing. You'll look at something and then like right here he'll jump down and a trash can appears out of nowhere. Stuff is just spawning in out of thin air. A bunch of spelling errors, just logistical inconsistencies. Like right there when he used the clippers on the lock and it just sparked the fuck up. Like where the way the car spun right there, this shit doesn't make sense. The fire escape turning into lava. This whole trailer has a bunch of logistical inconsistencies that doesn't make any sense. And it feels like I'm on an acid trip in the worst way possible. If this is what AI games are about to look like, keep this shit, gang. We don't want it. We don't want it. You can keep it. Keep this shit, bro. Keep this shit. We don't want this shit. We want real creativity in our games. We want a human touch in our games. Now, when it comes to coding and stuff like that, like checking your code to see if there's any mistakes, using AI to brush up over that and try and see if you made a specific mistake, using AI for small helpful things, or for example, if you want to remember a certain topic but you don't know what the topic was called and you try and use AI to find the name of the topic so that you can do accurate research, using AI for things like that is cool. But using AI to generate the whole entire game is going to give us a bunch of shit like this, where it feels like you're on an acid trip, you're on a dementia, and you woke up on somebody else's house half hung over, and you don't know where nothing is at. Keep this. If this is what y'all mean by using AI in y'all games and in y'all workflow, keep this shit in the drafts, nigga. We do not want this. I like this instrumental though. Anyway, to keep the conversation rolling, a bunch of different studios I've seen left and right are saying that they want to implement AI in what they're doing. And again, that other shit that we seen, if that's what they mean by we want to implement AI, we don't want it, you can keep it. I don't want it, you can keep it. That shit is ass. Excuse me. But we're going to read through some of these articles and go more in depth about them through this part of the video, because that's more so the part of the video that I'm going to use to show examples and stuff like that and cut up for TikTok, which is probably how you're seeing this video. And if you're seeing this video on YouTube, like the full long form video, hi, bitch nigga, welcome from my TikTok, pussy. Stay a while. Turn on notifications and all that. Hit subscribe. Anyway, Electronic Arts, which I don't need to point out which games they make. Everything from Madden to Split Fiction, they've made a lot. EA signs a deal with Stability AI. We're evolving how we work so that AI becomes a trusted ally. Now, in theory, that sounds good. In reality, that's not what they're going to do. What they're trying to do is find the fastest way to make AI make their how do I phrase it? Make their workforce not exist as quick as possible. I'm not remembering the more professional term for it, but they're trying to get the fucking employees out of the situation. Because if they could sell you the shit that was in that video we watched, they would. Electronic Arts has signed it. No, we read that. For more than 40 years, Electronic Evil Ass Niggas Incorporated has led through technological shifts across interactive entertainment, which is technically true, redefining what is possible for their global community of players. At the core of that progress is the belief that technology powers creativity. No, it's the other way around. Creativity powers technology. Because a lot of people think of technological advances as the newest iPhone, but technological advances were things that are so necessary that you find them trivial. Like, for example, a screwdriver at one point in history was a technological advancement. Screws at one point were a technological advancement, because before screwdrivers and screws, they had to use rope to tie stuff up. And before rope, they probably just made mud huts and used the animal guts or whatever the fuck they found, vines in the forest, to tie stuff up, until they realized, hey, if we tie these fibers together, it makes it easier to tie stuff up. Then somebody realized, if I take this piece of metal and I bang it in place, it makes stuff easier to put together. Then somebody said, if I put some threads on that nail, if I put some metal threads on that nail, instead of banging it into place, I could twist it into place so that when I need to take this apart and move to a better spot, it's easier. Then somebody said, if we had a device that made it easier to unscrew that nail with the thread that replaces tying shit together using animal guts and vines we find in the forest, it would be even easier. Then guess what those screws are a part of? Your phone that's in your pocket. So technological advancements come from creativity, and it comes from necessity. First off, necessity is the number one thing that drives technological innovation. That's why a lot of devices that you use on a day-to-day basis were either created for sexual purposes or military purposes. Like, for example, phones, yeah, that has roots in the military, because the military wanted to be able to communicate with soldiers over long distances and new, more technological ways that couldn't be traced, or that would make it easier for the fat generals that were being paid by politicians to sit behind a metaphorical piece of glass and protection and talk to soldiers over there on the field dying for them. That's what cell phones come from. Something like, for example, Nintendo. They started off selling trading cards, then they went to selling love hotels, which if you don't know what a love hotel is because you're Western, basically it's a place where you go to fuck. It's a hotel dedicated to people go there, they rent a room, they go beat the cheeks for the night and then go home to their actual home. That's what a love hotel is for. That's why in love hotels, it's more common for people to buy an hour or two at the hotel instead of like when you're going to a hotel over here where you pay by night. Over there, you pay by the hour because the expectation is you're not going to use it for more than, let's say, 4 or 5 hours. That being said, this is neither war nor sex. So no, this is not necessity changing technology or innovating technology. There's no necessity for this. So the only thing left is creativity. And this whole technology drives creativity. This is why these fucking board heads, this is why they have such a hard time making money. Most of them have a hard time making money in creative industries because they expect everything to be a solvable equation. They expect it to be, if we do A, B happens. If we create product, they give us money. They don't understand that creating a product is not enough. Well, for something like Madden, all you got to do is release that piece of shit every year. But for all the other games, everything else in your portfolio, it's not about creating game and people just buy game because they want game. No, you have to create a piece of art. You have to create an experience that impacts people in a way to where they'll tell all their friends and their friends' friends and their friends' friends to experience this art, and that the price that they have to pay to experience this art is worth it. When you drop slop, nobody says this art is worth experiencing. They say, I wish I would have never played this dog shit, bullshit, piece of shit ass game. That's what they say. And they recommend people to not play your game, and you lose money from people not wanting to play your piece of shit. This is not all those other technologies, industries where you can shit on a plate and people buy it. You actually have to make something that people want to play first, then go from there. Machine learning and artificial intelligence have long been cornerstones of innovation at EA, powering everything from intelligent gameplay and real-time animation to physics simulation, pathfinding solutions, and more efficient development pipelines. When it comes to AI and those parts, to me, I think that's fine because physics simulation is already AI. Because one thing I do think that is kind of sad about AI becoming a buzzword is people are now refining the definition harder than it should be refined. Like, for example, the reason why, if you talk to anybody who's of the age range of, let's say, 60 up, there's a reason why they call all game systems a Nintendo. Because in that 70s, 80s period where Nintendo saved the gaming industry, that was the only console worth buying. So that was the only game console worth knowing. So people, and the idea was so new, people associated video games with Nintendo to the point to where every video game console to them is a Nintendo because that's the number one leader. At that time, because of how good they were compared to everybody else, they had a monopoly, a virtual monopoly, not an actual, but a virtual monopoly on the industry. Think about it like Q-tip or Band-Aid. Band-Aid is not what those are called, but we're so used to using Band-Aids from the Band-Aid brand, that's what we call them. Just think about it. What the fuck is a Band-Aid? Or even Q-tips. Q-tip is a company. That's not what it's called. It's called a cotton swab on a stick. Really. But we're so used to calling them Q-tips. You know what I'm saying if I say go to the store and get me a box of Q-tips. Go to the store and get me a box of Band-Aids. So it's like certain things like that, we're already using AI, and people are overgeneralizing the term AI to mean slop when it's like, no, physics simulation, yeah, that's ran by an AI. What the bots do in your games, like when you're playing against bots in video games, whether it be NPCs or Marvel Rivals, when you get random bot lobbies full of fucking clankers, like, yeah, that's AI. So AI is a very blanket term. It's like when people say, my game has rollback netcode. It's like, yeah, but is it good? Because rollback netcode in itself, in theory, is good, but there's a lot more parts and things going on behind the scene than just rollback netcode yes, rollback netcode no. It's like, yeah, you could have rollback netcode all you want, but if your server infrastructure is shit, doesn't matter how many rollbacks you can fucking do. Your server infrastructure is shit. The game's gonna be laggy. And I don't give a fuck if it's peer-to-peer or rollback. If your game is laggy, I don't want to play it online. Same thing with this stuff here. If you make a shit game, I don't want to play it, whether you do or don't use AI. And that's the part I think they're missing. Creativity is why people buy a game, not if it exists. It's not Oreos. You could slightly change the flavor of Oreos and niggas will still eat Oreos. You could make napkins 5% smaller, niggas is still gonna buy napkins. If you make a game 15% less fun, niggas is gonna stop playing the game. It's that simple. There's no arguing that point. The technology used to build games today has evolved more than a little bit beyond what was at hand when Evil Ass Niggas Incorporated first put the words, "We are an association of electronic artists" to paper. True. And you know what they were doing that whole time? Even though they were beating them over the back and forcing them to sleep under their desk, they let their artists make art. Because the thing about monetizing art is that it's very, very hard to monetize, especially in an industry like games. Because sales and money in games matter. Because motherfuckers spend multiple millions of dollars. Niggas be spending 20, 30 millions of dollars making these goddamn games. So yeah, if I spend $20 million making something, I want back at least 40. And 20 million is before we count marketing. So I want at least 50 to 60, honestly, to even say it's worth considering updating / making a sequel to this game. 40 to 50 million minimum. Everything above that, great. Minimum 40 to 50 million so we can make the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game. But if you drop pieces of slot dog shit games, you're not gonna have a next game, and the next game, and the next game. Although Evil Ass Niggas Incorporated got card packs and they got FC Sports, so they're gonna have money to do whatever they want forever. The general concept of AI has been around, blah, 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 blah. Contemporary generative AI is something very different. It's seen by many not as a tool, but as a substitute, which is what I've been saying, which is no doubt why Evil Ass Niggas Incorporated is trying its hand in it. With humans at the center of storytelling, we're evolving how we work so that artificial intelligence becomes a trusted ally. Supporting fact, yeah, I don't even have to read all of this. That's a bunch of bullshit. Excuse me. Because now we got companies just straight up coming out and saying, hey, we're an AI first company. And you seen what that AI first game trailer that we watched a second ago look like. And you know what games EA makes, but for Qaptain, in case some of y'all don't remember what games they're in control of, let me read some of them. Exit out of that. Mini Golf King, PUBG Mobile, which are two different games, because PUBG like desktop doesn't have an audience like that anymore, but PUBG Mobile, big overseas and like Indian shit like that. What else do they have? The Callisto Protocol. Nobody gives a fuck about that game. Redacted, Subnautica 2, Hi-Fi Rush. Well, they own not only Hi-Fi Rush, but they're supposed to be making Hi-Fi Rush 2. It's more games that they have. Games developed or published as Qaptain. Oh yeah, they have other stuff in their portfolio that they own, but it's not shown up here. But just as a point to show you, they're saying that now they're working with AI first. Like their number one goal is to try and make AI the game developer, which again, as I've reiterated and said 1,000 times, AI will never have the talent of a game developer because AI is not an artist. AI does not have that human element, that human motion. There are certain things that it can do without a person or not need a person to do. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a person's creativity and thoughts behind what you're making, it doesn't matter. You're just pumping out bullshit that nobody wants to play. This one, I was gonna go over this more in depth, but basically more niggas, because now Florida is in. Before it was Louisiana, but now Florida are on Roblox trying to put BTA. And I'm gonna play this video, but actually I don't have to play the video because I watched it already. Basically, he's saying, hey, in Florida, we're putting belt to ass on Roblox. We giving niggas subpoenas. We want to see how you're actually protecting kids, especially that after that incident where that white YouTuber slept, where he got banned for trying to get rid of predators off of Roblox. They're putting belt to ass. Like, wait a minute. You banned somebody who's trying to get rid of pedophiles. Now, one thing I will say is with the current administration that we have, this is kind of scary because that nigga running, sending ICE to all states as his little military coup to incite fights in places that are doing anything he doesn't like. That nigga is Trump's friend. He was at the inauguration. I'm not saying that the Roblox CEO is on the list because I don't know how long he's been a big wig in the gaming industry, like in terms of Roblox and stuff like that. But we do know that there's a 99, there's not even 99. For legal purposes, I have to say allegedly, a 99% chance that the president is a fucking pedo. Allegedly. So you saying we don't like pedos in Florida? Especially being that Florida's a Republican state? I don't know, this sounds scary. I don't, never have been, and never will have suicidal tendencies, by the way. Just saying that on the record. And this video is, oh damn, did he stream? Finally the nigga streams in this while I'm whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to watch this video and show y'all this about 007 because before, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like, to me 007 had no purpose and it just seemed like a fake ass Hitman 47 game where you're playing as James Bond instead. But when I saw this video, I was like, oh, they're actually adding mechanics to make the game feel a bit different.
Until something very specific happens, and it's one of in the new 007 game, you can't kill anyone until something very specific happens, and it's one of the more interesting mechanics I've seen in a third-person shooter. Because PlayStation just revealed around 30 minutes of raw 007 gameplay, and it looks like a weird mix of Uncharted and Hitman, and it has two new stealth mechanics that really stood out to people. Starting with a straight-up bluffing mechanic, where if you're caught in an area that you're not supposed to be in, or you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, you can bluff to the guards and make them believe that you're supposed to be there.
What? Ken Banks, penetration tester. I need to have a stern word with your manager.
And bluffing will use instinct, which is a limited resource that you have, so if you bluff too much, the guards will catch on and try to arrest you.
And the reason why I think that's an amazing mechanic is the simple fact that, like, that's a cool idea, because the thing about James Bond that differentiates him from Hitman 47 is Hitman 47 is supposed to be this faceless, silent, cold killer in the night type individual where he doesn't say a word more than he needs to. He doesn't have finesse. He doesn't have swagger. 007, James Bond, is supposed to be a character that has swagger. He's supposed to be a smooth man, smooth with the ladies and all of that. He's supposed to be a slick individual that's that very charismatic person. So the fact that they're using a gameplay mechanic like this to translate his charisma and to try and make this more of a stealth game rather than a sandbox, just kill this nigga game, I love that. I like that. We need to clap it up.
This gets even more interesting because similar to Instinct, you also have a battery and chemical resource that can also run out. And these are used on your Omega Watch that have spy gadgets like a smoke bomb, a laser that can blind people and destroy objects, as well as the ability to hack phones and objects around the world to either distract people or do even crazier stuff like control the direction of a flying plane so you can kill people inside of the plane. But the devs went even further and made it so you can't just kill anyone you want whenever you want, and whenever you enter a mission, you're going in as a spy who's doing it stealthy.
And this is the part that made me really say, oh, okay, this game is worth playing, because this isn't just Hitman 47 with a agent skin. It's a whole new game.
Fights, you need to use the new parrying and punching mechanics, as well as the grabbing mechanics that makes it so you can throw people off ledges. And you will only receive your license to kill if another enemy in the game has full intent to kill you, so MI6 will allow you to pull out your gun.
When enemies show clear intent to shoot and kill Bond, you will be granted a license to kill.
But do not worry, because the devs have also confirmed that you will never fail a mission for failing to do it stealthily, so you can always do something to agitate enemies at the beginning of the mission. In the new 007 game, you can't...
Which I think is cool, because they're allowing a variety of different ways to play. And they're making it so that if you just want to play an action-adventure 007 game, you can. But if you also want to play a stealthy 007 game, you as well can. Now, for this article, I more so wanted to bring it up. If any of you were wondering how much Arc Raider costs, I've read this already. Basically, it costs $40 if you want to get the regular version, $60 if you want to get the deluxe version. Pretty much it. This, I just wanted to bring up this headline because it was fucking funny. The Ravens, that's the one NFL team. So the Ravens coach took niggas video games away because their fucking score sucks right now. On October 20th, the Baltimore Sun reported that after going 1-3 and a player posting a photo of them playing games on social media, team officials in Hamburg removed several recreational staples from the Ravens locker room. Just imagine the comedy of being a grown-ass man and coach takes your PS5 out the fucking locker room. Imagine being a multi-millionaire, talk about some... Coach took my PlayStation. Anyway, and the last thing we're gonna do, actually, should I make this his own video? Nah, I'm gonna wait till it's another character reveal before I watch this. I wanna watch multiple at once every time I do one of these. If you have any thoughts about this topic that you would like to share further with me, again, I don't give a fuck if you like, I don't give a fuck if you subscribe. Just comment and tell me what are your thoughts on this topic, even if it's only a couple words. Peace.